My life. Hey, everybody. I'm back after testing out my equipment a little while ago with a few of you on board. And I just wanted to have a little chit chat today with you guys because I know here on the Weight Watchers YouTube community, within the Weight Watchers YouTube community, you know, we have some people that are really frustrated, that are pretty prominent out there that are, you know, trying some other things to get healthy and lose weight. And I think the intentions out there are excellent. And I think for those of us that are doing our weight loss journey on YouTube, we're trying to be really authentic and portray, you know, this journey and be truthful about it. So when we switch plans or tweak plans or finesse plans, it's not to cause confusion out there. I think it's just to represent our own individual journeys. And so I just wanted to come on and talk with you guys and see how you guys are doing. And also just say that I think it's really important that we support our YouTubers out there that are, especially our Weight Watcher YouTubers, because we have such a small group of us really that are vlogging our journeys on YouTube. And I don't want to, I would never want to see people kind of shoved out of that because of negativity. So I just want to promote positivity and support. And I also wanted to talk about, thanks Amy for welcoming me back. I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the older Weight Watcher programs and sort of how I'm feeling on freestyle. And I wanted to get some feedback from you guys about how you're feeling and any tips and tricks and that sort of thing. So let me just see who's in the room, because I know Penny's here, Tina's here, Nancy's here, Tammy's here, Jean's here, Janella's here, B's here. Hey, B. B has her channel. She's at B's. Let me see. Let me scroll up so I can find you. B's Journey. She has a channel. She does daily vlogs of her food. Penny's here. Vicky's here. Stephanie says she's back. Fora Family is here. Cheryl and Elaine and Hope and Anna and Michelle and Healthier Ray and Carolina and Shelly and Myrna. Okay, thanks for coming back in, guys, and hanging out with me. My nose is itching. I'm trying to, this is the first water I have had today, and it is 5 o'clock. So I hope you all have your waters out. A lot of people say get a snack and tune in. I'm like, get your water and tune in. Every time I say so, drink a glass of water, because I think I say so a lot. So if I say so or you have to drink water. That's our little drinking game. Okay. So I was looking at the study. My question lately has been, why did they switch from Smart Points to Freestyle? And I looked on the website. The only thing that I could find was a little Q&A section. The question was, why did you switch from Freestyle from Smart Points? Was Smart Points not working? And the official answer was they were trying to improve the effectiveness basically of the Weight Watchers program. And they also wanted to make it easier for those of us following Weight Watchers to stay on the program long term. So I was like, that's very interesting. So I went to look at their study that they did prior to switching us all over to Freestyle. And it was on, it was a study that is not actually published anywhere that I can find. Like, I can't actually find the study. I can just find the results. So if you guys have actually read the study, I would love to see it. But they took 158 Weight Watcher users. Okay, I have 4,000 subscribers on my channel. They took 158, very small cohort group, okay? And they put them on Freestyle for 6 months. And after 6 months, what they found was, after 6 months, and I've just been on Weight Watchers again for 6 months. These individuals had lost 7.9% of their weight after 6 months. So think about that. For me right now, I weigh 231 pounds. So 10% of that would be 23 pounds in 6 months. Okay. So that's less than 4 pounds a month. Okay. So I was thinking a lot about that. And I was like, we set up ourselves for the asterisk. Weight Watchers has an asterisk next to all of their success stories out there that says that you can expect to lose between 1 to 2 pounds a week on the Weight Watchers program. And we align ourselves with the asterisk. We align ourselves with the timeline. Okay. And that is what we expect. I expect 2 pounds a week. I'm going to lose 8 pounds a month. I'm going to have all this excess weight off in 1 year. And then I get so set on the timeline that I can't look past it, and I get frustrated and I go off program. The reality for me at 7.9%, I actually should expect on Freestyle to lose 3 pounds a month, if those numbers are correct on that very small group of people that they did their clinical trial on. So, I'm just big on research. I like to look at all the numbers. I think that information would have been great in the meeting room to have, if they would just give us those numbers, and then we can adjust our expectations or throw our expectations out the window, which is what I am going to start doing. So instead of bailing on Freestyle or bailing on Weight Watchers, I'm really going to bail on the timeline. And that for me has to be a very active choice. It has to be a daily active choice, because for years I have had, the asterisk, the 1 to 2 pounds a week, the timeline sort of, pushed into my head by the diet industry. I've chosen to believe it. All of the books have said it, that we can expect that a healthy weight loss is 1 to 2 pounds per week. And what that has led me to is falling off many programs, many different times. Hey, Asher.
Hello.
Asher. So, I think for my own well-being, I need to throw out the timeline. And then the other thing that I found really interesting, I read this study that was done on the Biggest Loser people. So they did a study on all of the contestants on the Biggest Loser, not all of them, but 15 Biggest Loser contestants. And they looked at all the different variables there, because these people were put into an environment. It's like the perfect weight loss environment, where they lost weight at an incredible rate. Some of them would lose 20 pounds in a week. They had trainers, they had chefs, they had to learn how to cook their own meals. They had the perfect diet. They had the water intake. They had people pushing them. They were in a closed environment with there were no distractions. Okay. And what they found was that those 15 people, of the 15 people on that, in that study, 14 of them gained back the weight, and 8 of them gained more weight than what they lost. So the study was talking about, they looked at why this happened, and basically those people lost the weight, but their resting metabolism changed. So they actually each ended up burning 700 calories less at their resting metabolism than they did prior to starting the show. So the amount of work that you have to do to make up 700 calories per day, for your resting metabolism is a lot. And I just found that very interesting. I was looking at all of these different studies that talk about how when you lose weight, you change your resting metabolism. Your metabolism actually slows down because it's resisting weight loss. So the end result is a slower metabolism. And we try to fix that with exercise. And they said there's really no way to compensate for that. So my feeling and thought is that Weight Watchers has us doing this in such a slow way that our body is gradually getting used to that. They say the faster you lose weight, the faster you regain it once you go off of whatever plan you're on. And it's that metabolism piece that they think is part of that. And then the other thing is that a calorie is not a calorie, is what they have found through research, which is why a lot of the calorie counting doesn't work as well as some of these other programs that look at all of your macronutrients and everything. So I found that all that was very interesting. And so Vicki says she read that report on The Biggest Loser. Yeah, The Biggest Loser contestants. I found that interesting. And the way that I found that was I was looking, I think Allie, was she the first one that lost, that won? Sorry. And lost all the weight. I think she was. And then she gained it all back. And so she was talking about how hard it was to maintain. And then they just started studying all of these people that they had put in the perfect weight loss environment. They dropped huge amounts of weight. And then it changed the way that their bodies worked, so they gained it back and even more. And that is so incredibly hard. The doctors that I work with are always telling me it's so much worse to lose the weight than gain it back than to just stay heavy even. So I find that very interesting. Okay, let me drink some water. You guys drink some water too. If I drink, you drink. So anyway, I was looking at some of the old Weight Watcher programs, and I just wanted to talk to you about that. I think, this is my opinion, pick a program and stick to it and get rid of the timeline. I think what's important that you get rid of here is the expectation and the timeline, okay? And realize that whatever you're going to do, you're doing it for life, right? I was looking back through some of my old trackers. This is a quick track. This is back from 2005 when I was doing Weight Watchers, where I was about the same weight. And I was looking at the way that I was eating back then. Like a sample day for me was I got up in the morning. I had a Weight Watcher bar for 1 point. I had a Wendy's salad with dressing. I had fat-free cheese. I had an ice cream bar. I had another Weight Watcher bar. I had grapes. I had pizza. I had hummus. I had meringue cookies. I had more hummus. And then I had something else. My diet has changed so much since then. And I just think about how Weight Watchers has really propelled me into eating healthier. And that was on plan. I had a perfectly on plan day that day. And then that night I wrote that I had a binge. So I was just looking at some of the ways that I was eating before on Weight Watchers, because Weight Watchers didn't really encourage you past these little healthy guidelines here. I don't know if you can see those at the bottom. They gave you the healthy guidelines, but they weren't focusing really on like 0-point food lists or, simply filling, like intuitive eating. They weren't there yet. I think they were working towards that. So they were talking more about, eating a lot of fiber so you feel full. They weren't really focusing on protein. They were more into the like low fat, but they weren't really even talking about saturated fat at that point. So I feel like this time around in the program, I'm eating so much more healthily. What constitutes my diet is just whole foods. I feel like that's an easy way to eat on Weight Watchers. Freestyle. Now, I think people that are really missing some of those other plans and that way of eating, there's a lot of options for you guys. So just for reference, just for information, the original points program came out in 1997. So it came out the year that Judah was born, and it focused on fat, fiber, and calories. So here is my, look at this. This is my old points calculator, you guys, from back in the day. And it is very super involved. You had to hit push food and then push record and then push food, and then push compute. I mean, it goes through this whole like thing. It doesn't work anymore. I think the batteries are dead on it. But the cool thing about the old classic Weight Watchers program is that you could guesstimate something just based on calories. So if you picked up 100-calorie pack, you knew it was going to be 2 points. If you picked up a hamburger that was 800 calories, you knew that it was going to be 16 points, and you could guess out there. So I remember when they switched from, that was Momentum, Flex, 1, 2, 3 Success. I'm sure you guys remember some of the older names. When we switched from that to Points Plus, which here's back when I was on Points Plus. Yes, I have a weigh-in book from that. I've been on every Weight Watchers program, I think. When they switched from that, they told us not to guess. They said, don't use your cheat anymore. So they said, we have changed it so much that you're not going to be able to guesstimate points. And that's what got really frustrating for me, because I had lost 70 pounds on the original points system, and I couldn't guess points for anything. I was so confused. So Points Plus is protein, carbs, fat, and fiber. So you see they added in the protein with Points Plus that they didn't have in the original program. And I don't remember what year that was. I feel like that was like 2011. 10? No, I don't even remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, let me see some of the comments here. I want to get some feedback. Elaine Burton, what do your docs at work say about the timeline? So, rule of thumb with the physicians that I work with is to work on losing 5% of your body weight, and then work on losing 10% of your body weight. And they don't really talk about timelines. What they have shown in terms of diabetes is that losing 10% of your body weight if you're overweight, okay, if you're at risk for heart disease and diabetes, can greatly reduce your chance of, getting those things. So they look more at percentages and what you should do and to get to a healthy BMI. They don't really, crash diets are never recommended unless, in cases of bariatric surgery, they will put you on a very low calorie diet prior to bariatric surgery. And from what I understand, a lot of that has to do with being able to get to the organs in order to perform surgery. It also cleans the system out. I think there's other reasons. I'm not a bariatric nurse, but yeah. So the doctors that I work with, a lot of them have used Weight Watchers very successfully. Some of the other programs that they like, MyFitnessPal, I've heard them recommend. There's one called Lose It. I'm going to show you the apps I have on my phone right now. Hopefully you can see them. So Lose It is one. I've had a doctor recommend that to me before. That's my Weight Watchers one. So if you want to look up Lose It, very similar. It's more of a calorie counting app. Hopefully you can see that. I think you can now that I have this box up. So that's more of a calorie counting app, and you can sync it with your Fitbit. iTrack Bites is the one that people are using now for, or a lot of people are using now for Weight Watchers. You can do, I think, all 4 Weight Watcher programs. You can do Classic Bites. You can do Pro Bites, which I think is Points Plus. You can do Smart Bites, which is Smart Points. And then they have the Freestyle. They have something that's like Freestyle. So that's iTrack Bites. And I have the Galaxy S9 Plus. It does work on Android. Okay. So that's one. Another great one that does Weight Watchers type is called Value Diary. I don't know if you can see these or not, you guys, but hopefully you can. So Value Diary, show you the little app. It's like a little red heart. If you can see, and you may not be able to see, and I'm sorry if you can't. But anyway, it's called Value Diary. Look that one up. That's got similar type of deal where you can search your foods. If I turn it sideways, maybe you can see better, and input them that way. So a few of those actually have the capacity of doing old Weight Watchers programs. So my issue with Points Plus and why I won't ever go on Points Plus. Number one, I never did Points Plus for more than maybe 2 months. And I had already lost 70 pounds. I got very confused on the program. I didn't understand at that point why my daily points had gone up. Then I also felt like all the point values of the foods that I was eating were going up. And then I lost my way to cheat in terms of guessing points. So I remember I used to be able to go to Chick-fil-A and get a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and it was 7 points. Like I had everything memorized. So it got very frustrating. So at that point, I went from the old Weight Watchers program to, I did Herbalife for a little while. That's what I did for a little while. It didn't work for me either because I didn't stick with it. Okay, so now we're to Smart Points. Smart Points switched from protein, carbs, fat, and fiber to sugar, saturated fat, and protein. And Weight Watchers says on their website, their research has indicated that with the advent of Smart Points, their members have lost 15% more weight on Smart Points than they ever did on Points Plus. So they felt like it was a highly successful program. And the reason they went to Freestyle is they felt like it would be easier for members based on this very small study. So I just thought that was all very interesting information. I think that we all need to just support each other in whatever you're going to do out there. Now, for my own interest level, I like to watch people that are doing the same program that I'm doing. So here's the Simply Filling booklet. Have you guys seen this one? So this is the current Simply Filling book. There are lots and lots of 0 point foods on the Simply Filling booklet. You can go, if you type into Google Simply Filling technique, it will pull up the PDF of this. And there's lots of great Simply Filling Facebook groups and that sort of thing where you can get more information. And I feel like if you want to kind of switch things up a little bit, you might want to try Simply Filling before you jump ship on Freestyle. Now, this incorporates more of your intuitive eating, but I think Freestyle does too. I think intuitive eating is a very valuable tool for us Weight Watchers to investigate and look into. And I don't know. I want to read some books on that. I just don't have time right now. Okay, let's see. I'm going to read some comments here. Vicky says, you're doing a fantastic job, Amy. Well, thank you. Penny says, what if you don't have any intuition? Penny, I really think it is a learned behavior, and I think we have to start slow. I have tried Simply Filling, and you guys know I really struggle with intuitive eating and stopping when I'm full and that whole thing. But I think we are learning that with Freestyle for sure with the 0 point foods. And I think that we can push ourselves a little bit. And in the long term, I think it will help us. But I do think it's a learned behavior because I think a lot of us have sort of like smushed and killed it. You know what I mean? So let's see what else. Shelly says that she thinks the iTrack Bites app is very confusing. And then she did the head smack. And the Weight Watchers app is very user-friendly and full of good information. Yes, I very much like the Weight Watchers app. I feel like the some of the other apps are not as user-friendly. You know, they probably are not developed with the amount of money that the Weight Watchers app was. To be honest, that's kind of what I feel like. I feel like it's like the Big Lots version of the Weight Watchers app when you get some of these other apps. They're just not as integrated. You have to go to different places to find the information that you want. It can be very frustrating. So For a Family says, someone on YouTube said they do have Freestyle, but you have to pay a small fee. In other words, the iTrack Bites app has Freestyle, but you have to pay for it. And I have heard that as well. Jorge says, hi from Mexico. Hi, Jorge. Let's see. Pat Wilson, she said she's a cancer survivor. Congratulations, Pat. And her doctor suggested Weight Watchers for me, and she's lost 54 pounds. And then she wrote, it took more than a year to lose 54 pounds. And I think that that's very much in line with Weight Watchers. I think that that's what you're going to see. Like I said, you know, I am going to release my monthly goal of 4 pounds a month because it's just leading me into frustration. Although I do think 4 pounds a month is probably a realistic goal. And actually, I think based on some of the numbers I've seen, 3 to 4 pounds is probably what I can expect, which if I do 4 pounds a month, that's 48 pounds in a year. And that's excellent weight loss and weight loss that I think I can maintain. So congrats, Pat, on doing that. That's amazing. Let's see. Tina says that her daughter loves Lose It. I've heard good things about Lose It. It's like anything else. You just have to stick with it, Tina. So Anita says she feels like a simpleton. Hi, Anita. It's good to see you. You're not a simpleton. You're so much fun. I love it. Mary Vitro, I don't have blueberries in my teeth tonight, my friend. Let's see. Hope. She says, when I eat sugar, I just want more and more of it. So freestyle works better for me. Yes. And that is what my issue used to be on the old classic Weight Watchers is I loved, let's see, I think I could eat a Skinny Cow ice cream sandwich for 1 or 2 points. So I would justify eating 2 Skinny Cow sandwiches because it would only cost me 4 points. Yeah. And now I think a Skinny Cow, are they those 7, something like that? 6 or 7 points? They might be a little less than that. But I wouldn't dream of eating 2 of those because I wouldn't have any points left for the day. So I agree with Hope. I think for myself, freestyle is pushing me towards making better choices. And I do not do well with sugar. You guys know that about me. Myrna says that she ate more junk food on Points Plus, and then Smart Points increased the points of all those, and she was in big trouble. And now with freestyle, some foods I like are 0 points, and it's working for me. That's great, Myrna. Anna says, why change what works? Right. And I think, Anna, that's highly individualized too. There are a lot of people out there that have done Points Plus long term. I am in a meeting right now where several ladies are doing different programs. There are people doing really, really old Weight Watchers. One of them is doing the exchange program, like the original Weight Watcher exchange. That's how she lost her initial weight. And she's been lifetime all these years. And she said, I'm not changing it. I'm not going to go to something that when I already know that this worked for me, I'm not going to something else. So that's right. Find something that works for you. I am consistently losing. Look, it's tomorrow. I would love to wake up and be at my goal weight, but it's not going to happen. And I need to release that expectation because it's really frustrating the crap out of me. And it's tempting me to quit, you guys. So I am consistently losing on Weight Watchers Freestyle. So I need to let go of the timeline personally for myself and stick with something that is working, which right now is freestyle, and not get tempted by something else. Now, there are people that legitimately, I believe, freestyle is not working for them for whatever reason. Who knows? The body is a mystery. So pick something and stick with it. And if you notice that over time you're going down, that you've lost weight, I think what I don't understand are people that have lost, 20, 30 pounds since they started freestyle back in December, and they're frustrated at this point. Like, I don't get that. I'm like, that's amazing weight loss. Even 10 pounds since December. I don't know. I just feel like if you've been losing on it, stick with it. But that's my own personal opinion. So, who am I to judge and all that good stuff. Okay, so Ray says all calories and points definitely were not created equal on the first plan. Yes. So what she's saying is that on the initial Weight Watchers plan, there was no differentiating between, a cookie and an apple. They both could have potentially the same amount of calories and the same amount of points, but really, and we all know this, which one is better for you? Okay. So yes, you're absolutely right on that. Elaine says, I hear what you're saying about freestyle and I agree. It seems that some of the Points Plus users like it because it is nicer to you if you want to eat more sugar for less points. Well, there are several people on YouTube that have done great on Points Plus, have lost all their weight on Points Plus. If you can go on Points Plus and stick with it and lose the weight, then go for it. Like, I feel like that's your decision. You're a consumer. I think it's going to be difficult though, because unfortunately, our community, we don't have the resources for these old programs. And you may not have the support that you need because you're doing an older program. So I know on Facebook, there are groups for some of the older programs. You definitely need to go seek out a community. I feel like it's very hard to lose weight without a community. And I need the community aspect. So yeah, pick something and stick with it and throw out the timeline. That's what I think. So that's just me. Let's see. Vicky says she remembers when people used to trick the point counts on foods to lower the point value. Yes, Vicky. So on original Weight Watchers, the more fiber you had, the less points. And at one point, the slider that you would have, like we had these little sliders. Let me see if I can find one. Our sliders went up to 10. Let's see. This is 4. It went up to 10 on the fiber. So if you could find something that had 10 grams of fiber, you could potentially have 0 points over here. And so we would fudge things and everything became 0 points. You know, you didn't have to count points for anything. And then you wondered why you weren't losing any weight. So I remember those days too. All right. So anyway, any other comments, questions? I just wanted to chit chat. Let me know if you have other tips. I'm looking for tips on here. Jennifer lost 35 pounds on Points Plus. There you go. There's a great example. And then she's lost 25 in 4 months on Freestyle because it's forcing me to eat healthier and kick the sweets. So Jennifer Baker is an excellent example of someone who's lost weight on both programs, and she's just sticking with what's working for right now. That's great, Jennifer. Wonderful, wonderful. I love hearing that. Let's see. So Susan Davidson was out doing garden work, and she was planting veggies, and she found an Easter egg that was filled with candy, and she ate all the jelly beans. Yeah, just track it and move on, right? That sounds like a kind of a fun find out in the garden. Okay. Let's see. Mary Vitra says, I think Oprah joining the fold made a lot of people skeptical. You know, I have some mixed feelings on Oprah, and I really like Oprah, but I feel like because there is so much, she has so much clout. You know, if she recommends a book, everybody reads the book and it goes on the bestseller list, right? So I almost think that as Weight Watchers, we don't want to see Weight Watchers as being commercialized or, I mean, it is, right? We're consumers, we're paying for it. But I think having Oprah jump on the bandwagon, and she's lost weight on other programs. Like I remember her doing Sugar Busters. Do you remember that? So she was doing Sugar Busters and wasn't eating any sugar. And that book became a bestseller. And it was all about, you know, Sugar Busters everywhere. Well, I don't think she got to her goal weight on that. And in the meantime, she just promoted Sugar Busters, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I think the Oprah thing has me a little bit skeptical too. And I think that her losing weight on Weight Watchers is wonderful. But it's not a reason for me to stay or leave Weight Watchers. There's probably the way that I would categorize that comment. Okay, let's see. Any other, that's kind of a tricky one because, you know, I don't know. I like Oprah, and she's annoying too at the same time. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, there we go. Vicky lost 110 pounds on the original Points program. That's awesome. Let's see. Don't worry about trolls, you guys. It's whatever. Let's see. Michelle says that her doctor really encourages the Weight Watcher program, and she found herself reaching for the lean meats. Absolutely. I feel like this freestyle program really kind of encourages healthy eating. And yeah. All right. So I'm going to go off live now because I really don't feel like dealing with the troll thing. And I think I pretty much said all that I wanted to say. So Any other comments or questions, please just leave them down below and I will get to them when I go and moderate. And Tammy says the thing that she does not like is not getting 5-pound stickers or any acknowledgement of it. Tammy, I agree. And I don't really know why they did away with that. I was actually looking at one of my old little logbook things. This is from 2005. And I had a little Bravo sticker and I was like, oh, I miss all the stickers. You know, at my last meeting, she wasn't even handing out Bravo stickers. So I'm not exactly sure what the thinking is behind that. The other thing that I noticed this year is that they're not giving out charms for the spring. Did you guys notice that? I know like in the fall, if you were consistently at meetings, you would get a charm and that was great. Elaine, I tried to block the trolls, but I can only do so much. So if you guys can block, go for it, and just ignore it. Otherwise, it's fine. So yeah, I miss the stickers. I miss the charms. So maybe Oprah can get those back for us. Maybe that's something that she could do for us. That would be great, Oprah. Let's work on that. I haven't heard much from her lately. Not to get back on the Oprah subject, but I haven't really seen much of her around with the Weight Watchers thing. So I wonder if she just got the weight off and now she's maintaining and she's on to her next project. So I think what's interesting, my dad is a writer and he's actually working with someone that worked. He's writing a book with someone right now that used to work for Oprah. And apparently she's a very philanthropic, generous, kind person. And my mom was telling me some stories about this man's experience with Oprah. And it really just was like, I was like, man, I think she's done some really great things, even if she annoys me sometimes. So God bless her. Anyway, let's see what else. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for watching. And Terry, I didn't really go over much. I just wanted to talk to you all about, some of the stuff that's going through my head. And I really think just throw the timeline out, have some realistic expectations of the program and yourself. Pick a program and go with it. If you have to do old Weight Watchers Classic, do it. I've thought about doing it before. Honestly, it's so hard to do that because you just don't have the support. And we need to reach out to other YouTubers that are, choosing to go to older programs and be supportive of them. We have a very positive, kind, wonderful community here on YouTube. And I really think that we need to keep it that way. And just remember that it's not a personal affront to you if somebody is switching programs. They just need to do what's good for them. So I'm trying to be supportive with an open mind. And at the same time, hey, if you want to start a vlog and you're on freestyle, I would love to watch your vlog because we all need all the encouragement, tips, support. We need all of that. We need this community. And so Mary says, just don't quit. Keep going even when you mess up. That's right. Just keep going. I will see you guys later. I'm going to be vlogging every day this week, showing you what I'm eating. And I know some of you have asked that I keep the vlogs to 15 minutes. I will try. I do like to talk. So that is not my problem in life. So, but I've had some people request that I keep the vlogs a little bit shorter. So I might vary some lengths of the vlogs so that they're not quite as long. Because listening to me talk for more than 15 minutes could be torturous. I get it. I totally get it. So Stephanie, if you've been, oh, okay. I thought maybe Stephanie was, oh yeah. So Stephanie just reminded us to pray for Vicky. Our friend here on YouTube in the morning is going to her doctor. So at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, if everyone could just say a prayer for Vicky, that would be awesome. And Vicky, you're in our thoughts and prayers, and we love you and hang in there. And I will see you guys later. Bye, everyone.